beautiful name. So.
On February 24th, 1833, Lavina Amelia Holder was born to Samuel and Lucretia Holder. She was given the name of Lavinia for her first name, but was called Amelia. I will call her Lavinia because I didn't know they called her Amelia. So I started this, so then she became Lavinia to me. Lavinia she is. She was my great-great-grandmother on my father's side of the family, and my great-great-great-aunt on my father's side of the family. No, I said it wrong. Let me start over. She was my great-great-grandmother on my mother's side of the family, and great-great-great-aunt on my father's side. The sister closest to her age was 14 years older, so they probably didn't play much together as children. Her brothers who were closest to her age were Robert James and Leverett Thomas. They were only 3.5 years between the three of them, and they lived in Holderville and Whittaker's Hill. Maybe as children they were spooked at Ghost Hollow, as many of us were, and perhaps they played along the shore of the St. John River and watched ships being built and sails being put up. What excitement to sit and watch ships being built and imagine sailing the world on them. It must have been quite exciting for children of that time. On May 22, 1851, Lavinia married Elijah Peck Fullerton II. She was 17 years old and he was 19. How young that is in today's world. After they were married, they moved to Centerton and had a large family of 7 boys and 5 girls. One of the children, Frank Stanley, lived only to be 4 years old, and 3 others, Abraham, Amelia, and Lucretia, all died within a year of each other when they were only in their 20s. Sanford Henderson told Gordon that there was a diphtheria epidemic in the 1870s, and families lost all or several of the children. How sad that must have been to lose so many children so young. In a letter that Aunt Aggie had written to her father while he was aboard ship, said that Aunt Amelia has got acute rheumatism, and Uncle F goes on crutches. I don't know what that means. In another letter, she wrote that Aunt Amelia was here yesterday afternoon, and Frank and I walked to Milledgeville with her. The letter was posted in Portland. I presume that's St. John. On September the 12th, she wrote that she had visited Aunt Amelia Fullerton with Lottie Crawford and had tea and had such a lovely time. Where they didn't see each other very often, they probably had lots of gossip to catch up on. Aunt Aggie also had a very interesting quote about Uncle Fullerton. I don't like Uncle Fullerton much. He is fearfully cross and hateful and says evil, horrid things about getting married. I guess my vision of the lovely time they had having tea in the garden on nice white wicker furniture and fancy china teacups and saucers got a little overshadowed by her description of Uncle Fullerton. I also read that someone had gone to visit Lavinia and Elijah in Centerton, but they were out in their carriage. I imagined a nice romantic carriage ride and fancy clothes on a beautiful sunny day, but again, that disappeared when I thought of Aunt Aggie's description of Elijah. I have been told that the house that they lived in Centerton, where Lavinia had all 12 of her children, was later moved to Long Reach and became the woodshed at the house that is now Kathy's. As children, some of us have spent many hours playing up overhead in that same woodshed. I never thought about who might have lived in that building, but always felt at home there, cleaning up, making tea, setting china cups on the table, feeding our babies, dolls, rocking babies and putting babies to bed. The very same thing my great-great-grandmother did at an earlier time. Maybe I was feeling the connection of her spirit while I played there all those years ago. I can picture her rocking her babies and also mourning children who all died so young. Perhaps she also thought of the future and hoped that some of her descendants, maybe even her great-great-granddaughter, would ever wonder about her life and what it was like, and perhaps try to find something out about her. Lavinia Amelia Holder Fullerton passed away on May of 1893 at her home in Centerton, possibly of a broken heart.